Everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with December 11th and December 12th for both 2021 and 2019. And I'm a few days behind. I think next time I sit down, I'll be working on day 19 and 20. Yeah, 19 and 20. And so I'm, almost a whole week behind. But the way I look at it is I'm doing 2 years. So every time I sit down, I do 4 days, but it's from 2 different years. So it's taking me a little longer, but at the end, I'm going to have 2 full years done. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep doing the 2 years at once. And yes, it's taken me a little longer, and I probably won't be finished on January 1st like I wanted to. But at this point, at least I know I'm getting 2 years done. So this is December 11th, and this day my husband went to town and with my daughter and Mason, I was working on some Patreon stuff. So I couldn't go, but they went and they chose their Christmas tree. We have an artificial tree, but they don't have a truck, so we have a truck. So he went and helped them grab a tree and then brought it to their house. And we used to get real trees, so we have this really nice tree stand. It's like a Santa that's sleighing on his side. So what we do is, it's kind of big, so at the end of the season we bring it home and we store it here, but then we loan it to her every year, and then she puts her tree in the stand. So we used it for 20 some years, and now Mason and Jess is using that stand. So that's kind of cool. So the other things on there, Mason had a practice that morning, and then I have a few pictures of me working. I think I worked on my December daily that day, and then I was working also on some reading and also on some Patreon stuff. One thing I noticed, because I'm doing my 2019 album, and in that album I made a spot for journaling on almost every page. I don't like journaling. Not every day. So note to self, which I didn't do for 2021, which I'm really happy. What I did was I just put some white squares because I thought, I can use some of them for the journaling. So this is day 12. And on day 12, Mason had hockey in the morning, and then we took a couple of his friends, or one of his friends, to a hockey game. But the first kid he asked, he was like, "Oh, I'm already going." So then the mom asked where we were sitting, and they ended up sitting next to us. And then she told somebody else, and then they bought ticket too, and they were sitting behind us. And then another little kid from his team also came to the hockey game, and they were just a few seats in front of us. So they had a blast. They really liked that there was, a few players from their team, and they were all kind of sitting together. So that was kind of the highlight of the day. He had he had a game in the morning, and then he also we went to the Wildcats in the afternoon, and we took him and his little friends, one little friend, and we went to Subway for lunch. So we had a blast. It was a really good day. And like I mentioned, I don't like journaling. So what I like doing though is using those little alphas and writing little titles. Now, I think I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to write the name of his little friends that are in the pictures. Because when you look back and you look at really older photos and there's no names, it's kind of annoying. So I'm going to go back and just with a pen, I'm going to add the name of his little friends that ended up coming to the game with him. But that's the most journaling that I want to do. And I don't mind doing those little stickers, especially since I started cutting them on my brother's Scan and Cut, because I don't have to individually cut them. They're like stickers, right? So I just peel them off and stick down the title. And under the picture at the very top with the bird, that was a picture of his game. And that game, he did what he's, the way he says is 2 hat tricks. He did 6 goals in that game. And again, he plays in 2 different leagues. He plays with what's called Moncton Minor, and that's kind of an array of different skills. And then he plays on a AAA team. And I always tell him, like, just because, with the other team you can score 6 games, it's okay. The AAA, it's like way better players, so it's normal that you don't score as many goals. And now we're going to jump right into 2019. Another thing that I notice for years prior is once in a while, or almost every second day, I barely took any pictures. And I'm wondering if it's because I wasn't actively working on the album. I pretty much I think I had up to day 22 done before the month started, which was really good. But for some reason, once December started, I stopped working on the album, and that's why I have to do the album now. Well, now that I look back and, when I'm ready to print the photos, I'm like, which, you know what? I did print a lot of photos, but I was just printing them and I really wasn't looking at the date. Well, now I'm looking at the date and I'm like, I didn't take any pictures on, day 12, for example, of 2019. So what I'm doing is I'm putting 2 pages on one layout. And as you see, I changed the number 11 because it was like a vellum, and I used our peppermints, numbered peppermints, and I put it at the top. And then I took a red peppermint number and I put number 12. I think I had 1 picture for day 12. And this was section of the month where I worked. So when I worked, I would work like 3 or 4 days in a row. So on the days that I work, and I was at work for 12 hours, taking pictures was the last thing on my mind. So that's why there wasn't a lot of pictures. But that's okay, because I just kind of, do 2 pages on one. And because I didn't have all the pages done, I had stopped at day 22 with all of those pages that I had to put 2 days on one day. I think now I'm going to have enough that I'll be able to finish off the year, which is really good news. And then next year, I'm going to work on 2022 and 2020, because in 2020, I didn't even get any pages ready because I broke my wrist in November of 2020. So I didn't do anything. But that's it. That's going to complete day 11 and 12. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.